What's going on, Scorpio? Welcome to my channel, Alchemist. Justin here, and I hope you're having a fantastic month so far. For those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, and shares. Your support really is just the best, Scorpio. And it keeps us growing. You know, stick to the end, Scorpio. There's a story behind that unicorn that involves your sign, so just just a little incentive. But where are we at? Oh, and for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy to have yourself as brought you here. We are in for an amazing journey. Cause guess why, Scorpio? It is Celestial News Monthly. That's my favorite time of the month. Well, not this month because that was my birthday, but otherwise. But Scorpio, with this monthly spread, whenever the sun enters a new sign, we're going to talk about what we're gonna when the sun moves to a new sign. We're gonna talk about where the planets are at and how we can work with the energies. I'm just excited to see it, Scorpio. And just so you're all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one. So take what resonates with you, leave the shenanigans with me, and never force a reading on a situation. Okay? So with all that being said, let's jump into it. Your space has been cleansed. Crystals, feeling lovely. Just great energy all around here, Scorpio. So I have oracle cards spread out here with each of the zodiac signs that the planets are in. I'm going to pull an oracle deck for each one of these, and then we'll get some details with the tarot. But before we jump into this thing, these readings that I do, they're not gender-specific readings, so apply these energies to people as they make sense for your situations, okay? Thank you. And in case if you all were curious, the decks that I'm working with, I've included links for them down in the description box below, so definitely check that out if you're interested. But also, Scorpio, down below are some links for some other readers that are like watching as well, so definitely give them a check out. They're really, really intuitive group, and hopefully you'll like them, so go show them some love. Before we get into your first card here, let's talk about this little party that Leo's going to be throwing in his sign, because you got the sun that's getting back home in Leo, and then you have Venus, and she's going to be doing her little retrograde cha-cha here in a little bit, actually on the same day, but... First, the sun is going to be entering Leo on the 22nd of July at about 8:50. I think when I wrote this, it was Central Time, Scorpio, so it was Central Time. And we'll be there through the 23rd of August. And with this, Scorpio, this is really great for really kind of tapping into that like childlike energy, as far as like, you know, go out and have some fun, you know, go play, you know, go create, and really being just like real kind of loving energy right now. And, you know, whether that be dabbling into like a hobby, like, or maybe like discovering a new hobby, or maybe like getting one started up that we've been wanting to do for a while. This could be even just like maybe going on like little trips, just things that really kind of just raise your vibration, Scorpio. And this is also great energy for like rejuvenating yourself through experiencing life, and just like really just like finding the sunshine in just all areas of our life, you know, Scorpio, because with the sun being at home, it is just like this energy of revitalizing, you know, having made that journey around the zodiac. Now the sun gets to chill for a little bit, just kind of be in his energy, and so I feel like that really gives the zodiac even just like a flavor, just kind of like a ooh. And that's kind of that's nice, Scorpio. I love that. And then we'll probably need that Zen, because Venus, this is going to be an interesting energy, because Venus is going to be retrograde in Leo from the 22nd of July, same day, until the 3rd of September. And with Venus going retrograde, on the positive end, you know, this is about really kind of finding different avenues to express ourselves, whether this be through art, through dance, through mechanics, maybe through woodwork, through whatever that's math, you know, whatever that's looking like for you. And then creating a space for discovery of self-love, you know, like really kind of just, again, fill up all your cups, work on that if we've been feeling like in a low kind of self-esteem area, Leo is great for that, building up that energy. Great, very courageous energy as well. So just any ways to raise that self-esteem, and also is great for just finding that becoming the artist of your life, and with confidence too, you know what I mean? Just really kind of just being, feeling like we're in charge there, Scorpio. But and this, I feel like it can go either way, you know. But with Venus also dealing with like relationships, there may be a chance that, and you know, retrograde, we're going backwards. There may be some energies of like some past relationships coming up, and I just don't mean in love, Scorpio. This could be maybe some old friendships that happen to come up for the mix, or you know, maybe we start thinking about someone we haven't gotten in touch with for a while, maybe want to reach out. So it can be very interesting energy for you as well. But for you, Scorpio, this is going to be interesting as well, just because depending on where your Scorpio placements are at, these the Sun and Venus are going to be forming squares with your signs, and squares can bring about like conflicts and restrictions, challenges, delayed achievements, and stuff. It's they're not always the funnest energies, you know. It can feel like that life is kind of like happening to you, but I feel that squares are there to remind us of how resourceful they are, or how resourceful we can be, and how resilient we can be as well, Scorpion. That's one of like the big aspects of your signs, is your resilience, you know, that how through obstacles and adversity you change and evolve and become this amazing you know, highest vibration of yourself. So where there may feel like the achievements may be delayed and things are slowing down, is going to, if anything, is probably a good thing that things are gonna kind of slow down, because we're actually going to talk about that next, because your ruler's in a real kind of, well, one of your rulers is in a really kind of tight spot here, and actually we're going to move your other one to this place too, Scorpio. So look at you. Let's talk about your first card here. Nice. Look at that, still feeling a little nostalgic in this Cancerian energy. I get it. You miss our you miss our energy, Scorpio. I'm kidding. But you got the third card of Cancers here, which is the Constellation card. And with this card, this is a card of network, support, associates, gathered, meetings, socialize, organization, arrangement, a collection, exchanging data, influence, in connection with, a large amount or quantity. And the energy that's really kind of popping through here, Scorpio, is the organization part of this. And I feel like that if things have been just kind of in disarray, you know, whether this could even be just like our space is just in needing of a little love, you know, maybe kind of, because here's the thing, Scorpio, and listen, this is, you know, judgment-free zone here, you know, I'm not attacking anybody's space. I feel like it's one thing for a place to feel lived in, but it's another when things feel in kind of disarray. I get like that sort of organized chaos, but even sometimes too, it's just like, if that hasn't been working as of late, I feel like it may be time to just like maybe establish a different system. You know, it still could be that organized chaos, but maybe even just like, I'm getting energy of like just like kind of switching things up a little bit, or this could even be like, maybe even being a need to just like reorganize, like maybe switch some furniture around, even maybe just a need for just like an energy shift or something along those lines, Scorpio. But this could even be, I feel like all of it is in with the goal of getting you in alignment, you know, really having your stars kind of line up here. And I really feel like that maybe for some others too, that it's like we're getting organized for like this, and there's like a next step here. It's like maybe we've been, because it's interesting when you go from like Cancer energy to Leo. Cancer is like establishing that safe space, that foundation, that home front, and then when you feel that sense of security, then we get into Leo energy, where we get into that creative aspect of it, whether it be, you know, since Cancer deals with the home, maybe we're creating a family, or whatever that's looking like. And that's what I feel like is happening right now. It's just like, you know, we're kind of like, we've been taking this energy from Cancer and just kind of been, you know, working with that trine energy that's been forming with your sign, kind of working on some opportunities, and now we're just like kind of it's like we finally built that foundation, and now it's time to start seeing what the results are, how this kind of holds to where we're trying to get our journey, or where we're trying to get on our destination here. I hope that makes sense, Scorpio. But let's get some tarot on this and get some more details inside, Scorpio. I got this deck is a new one, and these cards are beautiful cards, but they're super long, and I actually need to include links down in the description box for that one. But yeah, they're super long, and so this shuffling has been an interesting deal with them, so bear with me there. Scorpio, let's see what we got here. Look at you working on your Empress energy. I'm with it. Oh, I'm with it. Look at you singing with the energies. So you got the Nine of Pentacles, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Sun here. And that's interesting because what I feel here is kind of like what I actually had just told Cancer earlier, because they had the Sun and the Wheel of Fortune. And I feel like with this, with the Nine of Pentacles too, I feel like when you think about the Sun, Scorpio, that's like your ego, your will, your drive. And then Jupiter, the Wheel of Fortune, deals with that sense of expansion, that spirituality, abundance, luck, things along those lines. And I do feel like for some, it's like we are in this state of getting ourselves in this place of how are we going to get to that next level? What does that look like? You know, how do we, it's like you're almost like, in a sense, like kind of like working with like mapping yourself out in the stars, you know, really kind of thinking how, and when I say think big, is however this dream is that you've been wanting, or whatever this is. This could be maybe we're wanting to start a garden, or maybe want to start a workout routine, or maybe start a company, or maybe create a social network platform or something along those lines. But it does feel like that we're thinking about this next step here, and now we're getting to this sense of like we're working towards this happiness here. And I feel like this Leo energy can be, even though it's forming squares with your signs, these maybe more adverse situations are going to help shine light on where we might be feeling kind of stuck in the cycle, or where we're not feeling as abundant. And it's like, what can we do to start working towards this state of, you know, maybe we feel that, for example, if maybe you're at this place where you're tired of maybe taking direction, and you want to be in a more authoritative position. You know, this could be where we're trying to learn some new skills to get to management, or whatever this is looking like for you, Scorpio. But I do feel like that the support is kind of sticking out in this energy too, and I feel like that it's making sure that we surround ourselves with people who do support our dreams. You know, I feel like it's one thing to provide actual constructive criticism, where it's just like, okay, that's interesting. Like, okay, this is what I think about that. Have you considered blah 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 blah? Because there's this one thing that I know about. You know, like when we're spitballing and, you know, working as a sounding board, absolutely. But if it's just like, you know, critiques and things, like, you know, just kind of like chop it down, like, oh, Scorpio, that's silly, that's this, that's that, that's the other. You know, it's like I tell you at the beginning, you take what resonates with you and you leave the rest with them. You know, but this does feel, the Nine of Pentacles, this is working on your pre-Empress energy. You know, we're working for that, for a big win here. I mean, come on, Sun and Wheel of Fortune. This is a really strong start here, Scorpio. So I feel like that it's probably about to get to where we're gonna be getting to work here. It's gonna be a real kind of busy time. I feel like for everyone. I've been getting, honestly, since like Mars entered Virgo. I feel like and we're about to talk about that next more. But I feel like since Mars entered Virgo, it's the energies have been in the state of productivity, you know. And let's talk about that, because you have, actually, let's get some tea and let's talk about that. Because you have Mercury actually just entered Virgo, is going to be entering Virgo soon, and then Mars has been in Virgo for a little bit. But Mercury is going to enter on the 28th of July and will be there through the 4th of October. And Mercury is one of the rulers of Virgo, and Mercury also rules over Gemini. So when Mercury's at home, and I feel like it's one thing when Mercury's at home in Gemini, you know, the energies I feel like are super curious, super creative. That air is just like flying all over the place. But I feel like with Mercury and Virgo, it's definitely still that fast pace, but more grounded. You know what I mean? It's an incredibly productive cycle, Scorpio, and our minds are going to be a lot sharper, and our powers to analyze like information's going to become stronger, communications becoming clearer, because Virgo energy is very organized, very analytical, detail oriented. So if we do have, again, any kind of dreams, however they're looking, there's a great time, especially with Mars being one of your rulers, to work with this earth energy and start really thinking about how we're going to manifest. Because once we get into Virgo season, I feel that we're going to be in a very retrograde heavy cycle during that time. And so it's going to be one where it's going to be one of I feel like a really kind of expansive growth here, and really thinking about what the future is looking like, Scorpio. But also, oh, and one thing though to be mindful of with Mercury being in Virgo. Virgo on a lower vibration is being mindful of being hypercritical, because where they're kind of like the purists, the perfectionists of the zodiac. That sometimes achieving that level of perfection, that critiques can be really harsh. So we want to be mindful of that as well, Scorpio. But then also, your ruler is going to be in Virgo until the 27th of August. And with Mars being in Virgo, this is a very efficient energy. Mars deals with our drive, our action, our need for change, our passions, all that stuff. And so this is a great energy for you to, I feel like it's really strong being in Virgo, to get organized, get detailed. And also, if we've been thinking about this too, Virgo's also a sign of service. So this could be where if you've been wanting to maybe spread the abundance and spread the sunlight to others, this could be maybe do some work for some like volunteering or anything along those lines. Scorpio, you got this networking card here. Maybe you're cooking up something together, getting like a neighborhood cleanup, whatever that's looking like. I'm with it, and Mars and Mercury are with it all the way. And the nice thing too, Scorpio, depending on where your placements are at, this is forming a sextile with your signs. And after the trine, sextiles are very fortunate energies. They're easy flowing, but the thing is that they're very passive, not dynamic energy. So it's one where when we see an opportunity, all it is potential. It's like we gotta either do something with it or just kind of leave it behind. Sextile energy, it's potential is only good unless you nurture it. You know what I mean? It's one thing to start it, but we even gotta, make sure we're giving it enough sunlight and things, Scorpio. So definitely work with this energy. But let's get some get an oracle on this. All right, Scorpio. It's a little spilled milk because you got the 5th card of Pisces here, which is a spilled milk card. It's almost like a little tower card here, Scorpio. And with this card, this is a card of regret. Accidents happen. Don't sweat the small stuff. Mistakes. Leave it in the past. It's over. Cannot be changed. Disappointed. Cleanup time. Let it go. And minor problems. So I feel like, Scorpio, the energies that are coming through here is a lot. The biggest one is the regret. And I'm not sure if this is going to be something where if we regretted a situation that's happened and maybe that's what's leading to maybe this. And maybe we're trying to figure out how we can work on moving past that type of thing. That's interesting, Scorpio. That, or maybe either we got to, like, let's say there was an argument that has happened, or maybe we made a mistake, or maybe someone did something with you, an accident happens. It's interesting here. But I do feel like there is a strong need when the sense of like because the leave it in the past is kind of popping up too. But I feel like it's not just. I feel like in order to leave it in the past, we have to make sure that we're addressing it, giving it that proper sunlight and thinking about what lessons did we learn from this situation here. I feel like, regrets are interesting because it's where I do understand them. I feel like regrets are in a sense a good thing because they shows me that there was a time that it shows like a level of awareness that like, oh, let's say this is something that you did. This gives you a sense of just like, wow, I really wasn't at my highest vibration. And it's like, what can I do with that? I feel like regrets it's a tricky kind of thing when it comes to that kind of perspective, but I feel like we want to leave the regret in the past and we want to take the lessons to the future, you know what I mean? Because I can get where, maybe if we got in like, where we made some type of mistake or some kind of accident happened. Maybe we were working on this stuff and maybe we feel like we may not have invested like we could have. But again, all this stuff that happens in our lives, Scorpio, whatever these towers or spilled milk, anything along those lines, they're shaping us to that highest vibration. they're teaching us. Oh, hear that thunder, Scorpio? That I like that. It's raining over here where I'm at. It just sky just kind of broke open, but I heard that thunder. I'm taking that's confirmation. That's growth. That's change. That's like that gave me even almost just kind of like Fool energy, just sort of like this. Because even when you think about the Fool deals with that type of that futuristic energy. And so I feel like that, Scorpio, what we want to do is, yeah, try not to get it to where we're clinging to those regrets or anything along those lines if we come across that type of energy in the future. But let's get some tarot on this. Oh. Scorpio. Thank you. Let's see what we got here. We got the Page of Swords, the Ten of Wands. Ha! There's that Bull energy. I'm with it. And the Chariot. Look at this energy here, Scorpio. So, let's start with the Fool, because that's where I feel like that this energy is trying to get you to, where, because sometimes when we get into that state of regret and things, that keeps us like anchored to the past. You know, it gets to this because it's a oh, hold on, Scorpio. I think the thunder might be scaring a little pup. So give me 1 second. Okay, Scorpio, we're back. So let's talk about this Fool energy here, because what I was thinking about with the regrets, I feel like that if we let those keep you anchored to the past, it becomes this burden. You know, it becomes this weight that I feel like it doesn't get to the state where like it affects your abundance in a sense. I feel like it just maybe slows down the process of how fast we can get to that. And we want to be mindful of the thoughts that we get caught up in. I feel like with the Page of Swords being here and paying attention to the emotions that we're feeling, you know, especially with the Chariot. This is Cancer energy. And you know, speaking of Cancer energy, you know, Cancer is the type that we're a sign of experiential wisdom. My sun signs in Cancer. And we take the experiences when we're rooted in the past, you know, our ruler being the moon and associated with the 4th house. But it's like we take that energy from the past, our experiences, spilled milk and stuff, and take those ideas. How do we manifest them in the present? You know, how do we turn those? Because I almost even love how she's kind of like celebrating this Wands. It's just like, instead of like, she realizes that she doesn't have to take this weight, that she can channel that regret energy into something, into growth. And then that's where it was like, how do we manifest into the future here? You know, how do we get to this state of moving on and getting on to that next cycle? So, you're very interesting energy here, Scorpio. Okay, hold on, Scorpio. I think there's a little bit more with the Chariot here. Let's get a little bit more on that. Thank you. Okay, Scorpio. Let's see what we got here. Interesting. I tell you, the 8 of Cups has been a lot of Saturn and Pisces energy kind of going around here recently, but especially the 8 of Cups here. But you got, oh, there goes your Chariot. So you got the Chariot is clarified by the Queen of Swords, the 4 of Cups, and then the 8 of Cups here, Scorpio. And I feel like that with the 8 of Cups, it's like, it almost feels like that we've gotten, with this combination here, it almost feels like that we've gotten like comfortable with a certain mindset here with the 4 of Cups. It's like this 4 of Cups, Queen of Swords combo. Because the 4 of Cups can be like a card of apathy, kind of a card of just like where we can get to the state of just like disinterest and like just like where, oh well, life is just a bunch of spilled milk, so you know like things are just gonna be kind of meh. And it really gets us to where we like lose that full energy, that lust for life, that zest. And that's where I feel like maybe for some, if we do feel like that, we get like ourselves in like a bog or something along those lines, where the chariot or that we're losing that motion or something along those lines. It's what are some, maybe, because considering at the Page of Swords too, it's just like what are some, maybe some thought process that we can think about maybe letting go or leaving behind here. This is eclipse energy in this in the Eight of Cups as well. And so you know eclipses deal with change, but yeah, it's like again, how can we take this energy that has been dragging us down and then turn that into a different sort of fuel, you know, kind of yeah, just kind of, yeah, just get out of this energy or find a way to, and I feel like too, Scorpio, I feel like with the Queen of Swords being here, because this is Libra's card. She was the first two deacons of Libra and the last of Virgos. And I feel like that this is making it a point to just make a routine to just kind of take care of yourself. You know, bring some beauty and some like again how we were talking about the space, getting things organized. Maybe this is like buying some stuff for your place, or you know maybe liven up the energies a little bit. Maybe things have been kind of maybe feeling kind of down, and maybe we've had like the blinds closed and things. Maybe just like letting a little sunlight in or something along those lines, Scorpio. But all right. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, Sasha here is not quite a big fan of thunderstorms, so she needs to. I get it, girl. But we're gonna have a good old time here. The energies are right. You know, let's talk about your other ruler here, Pluto, because Pluto is in Capricorn. Well, retrograding in Capricorn, and will be retrograding until the 10th of October. And with Pluto being in Capricorn, Capricorn deals with achievements and structures and ambitions. And so if we are in this place, especially with your Wheel of Fortune Sun Chariot here, that's a lot of victory, a lot of wins, a lot of like high vibe, you know, like in considering the work with the Nine of Pentacles that we're putting in. If we don't feel like that we're on a track of achievement, you know, getting towards whatever goals that you have. And this doesn't have to just be with careers, you know. Capricorn is, you know, associated with the 10th house. That could be something we're thinking about. But even just as long as like this could be like self-care routines, you know, it's like self-improvement, or maybe we're trying to get to a certain place, you know, maybe you want to move out of the country, move to a different state, whatever that's looking like. You know, it's just asking yourself, what does achievement look like for you? What does success look like for you, no matter how big or how small? And if we're not there, what do we need to, again, Eight of Cups, let go? You know, what do we need to leave behind? You know, are there any regrets in things whatever that is? And then really, again, like retrogrades are a time of reflection. So really, if there's stuff that we may be hung up from in the past, it's figuring out how we can move on from that. You know, how can we get. Because here's the thing, because Scorpio, you know, you feel just as much as Cancer do. If anything, we feel a lot, and you feel intensely. And I feel like you being the fixed water sign, when you do get caught on something, I feel like it's harder than probably Pisces and Cancer to get out of that thing, just because it's like we're in it and we're in it. So, you know, I feel like it's finding some time again to just like meditate on this stuff, and just creating a Zen kind of space for you or something along those lines, Scorpio. But also with this Pluto energy, Capricorn also deals with like authorities and government. And I mean, you've seen what's been going down, been a lot of changes that have been going on in the government. This Pluto deals with power too, so this is going to be a lot of changes that's going to be going down here over for a while here, over till probably about the end of the year, until we get into till Pluto moves back into Aquarius around Aquarius season. So, but I also feel like just in general, on a more individual level for you, you know, just even talking about that power and stuff, this could be, again, a great time for you to, if we feel like that we've not had a grip on the reins in life, you know, I feel like it's getting that back there, Scorpio. But let's get Let's get some tarot on this. Or get an oracle on this. Ooh. Interesting. Okay, come on, Scorpio. So you got the fourth card of Leo's here, which is the family card. And with this card, this is a card of loyalty, faithful, allegiance, parents, children, siblings, fidelity, commitment, trust, affection, support systems, origins, tribe, dependable, sincere, and kindred spirits. And the energy that's coming through here is the commitment part of this, Scorpio. And it's the commitment and the trust, but I don't feel like that it's not, I'm not getting more so like relationship in the sense. I feel like it's more like a commitment to this dream, and like more so, do you trust yourself to accomplish this thing is what's really kind of coming through here for me with that. And that's a tough place to be when we're doubting our abilities, when we get into that state of doubts, and that Page of Swords, we start to feed in excuse me, to those energies, because that does, I feel like it slows down getting to our abundance. But I feel like it's too, Scorpio, when we think about like these kind of like kind of larger than life ideas, or just like whatever we consider just like really big things that we're committing to. Because even honestly, even just committing to like, I don't know, even like walking every day. That was one thing I did for like my one of my lunar cycles, and even committing to stuff like that. Like life throws you curveballs every now and again, and it's just like, how do you keep that balance and keep things moving with everything that's going down? And I feel like it's while you're going on this, whatever this is that we're setting out to maybe do, Scorpio, it's knowing that you probably are going to fail along the way. There's going to be some moments where we get a little off track there every now and again. That's just, life can be a little rocky, but it's remembering that these phases, they wax and wane, and it's just like, how can we set ourselves, or what little things can we do to set ourselves up for success now, so that when those times do kind of come around, that we're not hitting the bottom as hard. We at least got some cushion on the way to back this thing up, kind of setting our future selves up, full energy here for success, But yeah, that's very interesting energy there, Scorpio. Let's get some tarot on this, some details. See what we got here, Scorpio. Oh, wait a minute. So, fun fact, Scorpio, you got which I wasn't aware of that. There are two Fools in this deck, so I will have to do something about that. But you got the Fool and you got the Queen of Wands here. And that's interesting, Scorpio. So out of 79 cards, apparently, you got two Fools here. So we're thinking about the future, Scorpio, and what actions do we need to take? How do we keep that drive? How do you... That's fascinating. Let me get a little bit more on that Fool, because that's very new deck, Scorpio, and I totally missed that. That's... But you're the first one to do that, though, Scorpio, so I do feel like that's saying something there. But let's see what that's saying. Thank you. All right. Oh, interesting. So the Fool is clarified by the Magician, the King of Pentacles, and then the High Priestess. And so I feel like that this energy is like of a trusting in your intuition, Scorpio, and trusting in your abilities to achieve whatever it is that you set in line. Trust that higher self has got you, that these instincts that you're feeling, these challenges that may happen to you, these lessons that you're learning, they are shaping you to get to this state of stability here in all aspects of our lives, but it takes some work, and it requires, for you, I feel like, especially with this energy, it's going to be some big changes. There's going to be some, because Uranus energy, the Fool, it brings in that like thunderbolts. Like when we're talking about thunderbolts, it just like it brings that kind of like electric type of just like changes here. And so, how fascinating, Scorpio. And probably, since it's, and we're going to talk about that next more, but yeah, last thing with that energy, I do feel like that it is just a matter of, again, trusting in that intuition, because when we get in this place of doubt, that it throws off our flow a little bit. And but just like I was saying, how things wax and wane, the high priestess, this is the moon. And oh, how lovely. Look at how you really syncing up with the energies. This is Cancer's ruler. So again, is remembering that these energies wax and wane, but you are in control. We may not be, it may feel like we're not in control of the external circumstances, all the changes that are happening. When you got two fools in your deck there and your Uranus is going to town, like, yeah, that life can feel like a lot. But it's a matter of how we feel about it, how we process this information. It's just like, okay, this is what's going down here. Now, what can I do from here? It's like, it's going to lead to that growth there, Scorpio. But let's talk about Uranus, and let's talk about Taurus energy, because it's probably has been a lot of change for you, Scorpio, over these last, probably depending on again where your Scorpio placements are, probably this last since at least 2018, because you got excuse me, let's get some tea. Because you got Jupiter that's in Taurus, and then you got Uranus that's in Taurus, and Jupiter is going to be in Taurus until. But let's talk about Uranus first, obviously, because Uranus is going to be in Taurus until July 7th, 2025. So we still got a couple more years of Uranus shenanigans. But Uranus in Taurus is affecting our security there, Scorpio. It's because that's one of the major things that Taurus does cover, whether that be financial, whether that be self-esteem, whatever that's looking like. And it's changing and letting go of these things that are no longer serving us a purpose, whether this be mindsets. Again, whatever this is that's hindering this growth, because we're entering a very futuristic time. Your ruler is going to be entering into Aquarius next year, and that's going to be probably another tricky one for you, Scorpio, which, and listen, it's going to be, and it's not just going to be all just like a growth in us, because listen, I have, if you need someone to empathize with, or someone who's going right through it with you, when Pluto starts going to work over these next 20 years, I got a whole lineup of Leo that Pluto's going to be hitting. And it's going to be, I just experienced a Pluto transit with my moon, and even though it was a trine, which was the most fortunate one, it still was, it was interesting. So I feel like that's what's getting ready to happen. You're getting ready to set yourself up for something, for some big stuff here. And I feel like this is really going to be a test of your strength. And I really feel like you're going to impress yourself, Scorpio. That I think that this doesn't give me you're just going to be eating it. It's just going to be, we pay attention to the signs, kind of maybe work on some kind of, just some things, if we happen to get in a spiral, maybe some affirmations to kind of break the trend, something along those lines. I feel like that Uranus and Taurus is just really kind of just getting you set up for a new foundation, so that when it moves into Gemini, it's going to be, that's going to be an interesting energy. But then you got Jupiter in Taurus as well. And Jupiter will be in Taurus until 2024 next year, the 25th of May. And with this energy, it's thinking about any areas that you've noticed that Uranus has brought to your attention. It's, if we've noticed any areas that we have been feeling not as secure in, what things do we need to learn? What people do we maybe need to, maybe we're joining some groups, getting in like organizations and things, like whatever this is looking like. what is that? What do we need to do to get that long-term stability? You know, Taurus is thinking about the long game, and so it may feel like that the abundance and things is slowing down a little bit, but it's doing exactly what it is. You know, we're really putting in that kind of quality work, and you're really kind of building solid foundation, Scorpio. So, and the more, because this could be, for example, if we wanted to learn gardening, you know, start prepping our own food, or maybe we're trying to maybe learn as far as like doing like DIY around the house, instead of like, oh, we're like, okay, we got a pipe that bursts. It's just like, oh, maybe, and you know, Scorpio, this is not house advice. So maybe if we're having troubles, if things are, you turn on the sink and then the, I don't know, the what would turn on, I don't know, the bedroom light turns on, or in another room or something like that. You know, we might need, how we went from piping to electricity, Scorpio, I'm not sure, but see, this is why we need to call someone. But that's what Jupiter is about. You know, the more that we learn and we expand, the more that we get to that state of victory and feeling, you know, that sunlight. But the thing with these energies, Scorpio, is that depending on where your placements are at, this is forming oppositions with your signs. And oppositions, like squares, are kind of tough energy. They bring polarity, tensions, challenges, choices. You know, it's either a person or a situation forces you to make a decision, you know, and it's going to be, you know, probably a lot of change spiritually, you know, and however you're going to grow from this. But remember, Jupiter came first thing, letting you know that, hey, I got abundance here. But the thing with that too, actually just thinking about that when we're talking about the mindsets and stuff, because the thing with Jupiter, where he is an abundant planet, he doesn't discriminate on what he's being abundant with. So if we're in a negative mindset, then that's the energy that we're going to get, is that negative energy that's going to be flying through there. So we just want to be mindful of that there as well, Scorpio. But let's get an oracle card on this and get some more details. Oh, all right, Scorpio, look at you. I like that, Scorpio, because you got the second card of Leo's here, which is the Pioneer card. And with this card, this is a card of boldness, destination or bust, the cutting edge, long journey, trailblaze, true grit, challenge, navigating uncharted territory, resourceful, team, got your six, and unflappable courage. And the energies that really are coming through here, Scorpio, are the challenges. You know, the challenge, the boldness, the true grit, resourceful. And that's where I feel like this energy, it's like these, where I get it, you know, when life is really kind of feels like, it's like just kind of life just coming at us, it can feel that it's like it's trying to keep us down, but it really is just trying to add more tools to your tool belt. You know, really show you that you have all the resources that you need to manifest out of whatever changes that come your way here. No matter how back to back these Fool energies come your way, Scorpio, you still got it. You know, and that's where I feel like it's really focusing in on that perspective, you know, and like, because listen, Scorpio, I do get it, where especially when we're in a moment where it's just like, where maybe like a spilled milk or like a tower moment or a hanged man situation, when we're in that moment, it can seem like it's, when is this going to end? You know what I mean? But it's just like, I feel like, especially being the sign of change, I feel like that maybe these changes that are happening, or that may happen, Scorpio, they may be kind of, even though being a sign of change, that doesn't always make it easier, especially if this is something where it feels like that, because this Fool thing almost feels like that maybe we had like kind of like, it's been sort of like back to back to back type of stuff, and we've not had a chance to kind of breathe, maybe even just like really kind of collect yourself. It's been kind of like a pushing energy. And if that's the case, Scorpio, I do feel like that this is something too where I almost feel like it's not that it's like we don't have to do. Let me get some tarot on this and get some more details with this energy. Scorpio. Thank you. Let's see what we got here, Scorpio. All right, Scorpio. So we have the Four of Wands, the Six of Wands, the Five of Cups, the Three of Swords, and then we have the Hermit. I like that Hermit. He's a cool Hermit. But you got a lot of maybe for some of us here, because with the Three of Swords and this kind of Five of Cups combo here, this almost feels like that. Because I'm even getting like the Ten of Wands is even kind of lighting up with this, and it almost feels like that this is like, it feels like that things have been just kind of accumulating, you know, that, I don't know if you can see how this water's kind of slipping through her hands here, but that's where it kind of feels like that maybe there's this sense of almost being just like, it's almost a sense of like being, almost feels like it's like being out of control in a way that it's really kind of, I don't know, Scorpio, it's like it's affecting this. If it feels, it almost gives me kind of like Eight of Swords energy, like Nine of Swords, where we're just like, it's like we're stuck in our heads all the time, or that it's become this kind of nightmare or something along those lines here. And I feel like that the Four of Wands is like trying to find this place of peace again, you know, and because even like the Six of Wands, this is another card of victory here, Scorpio. But I feel like that maybe it's the time that maybe for some that might be why it's like it just feels a lot longer than we had expected it to, or maybe it feels like that. Even like maybe it just seems like that it's easier for others to get there than for you to get there. And here's the thing with the Six of Wands, Scorpio. I feel like where this card is like a card of celebration and victory and things along those lines. What it's almost like with social media. It's like a lot of the times we're just seeing all of the snapshots of all the good stuff that's going down, you know. But you know, there's always, sometimes I feel like we forget that there is a lot of work that goes to getting to that state of, even just like, even in taking that picture, you know, that even could be a whole thing, trying to capture the perfect lighting and whatever the hell, but it's remembering that life is trying to shape you into this sense of success, and but it's going to be a matter of where, I feel like with the Hermit popping up here, you know, it's going to be a matter of really reflecting on these experiences that may either have happened, will happen, because listen, spilled milk, towers, Five of Cups, Ten of Wands, Three of Swords, they're going to keep happening. But it's just like, it's learning how to go with that flow of energy there, and figure out this, and figure out what growth and how do we shine, how does that light shine brighter there, Scorpio. It's very interesting energy here. Mark? And you know, it can be a little tough, Scorpio, because I feel like your sign is one that Scorpio placements can be a little tough, you know, like when we get to that change energy. But, you know, especially have it in your sun sign, though, you're a boss, you know, like you really, and listen, that's not to diminish your problems or anything, like but it's more so just to remind you that you got this, you know, it's just that where it seems like that the situations have leveled up, or it's like as you level up, the situations level up, but so do the wins, you know what I mean? It's that part of life there. But let's get a little more tea, and let's talk about this last energy. Saturn in Pisces, which is the Eight of Cups. I got Saturn in retrograde in Pisces, and then Neptune is retrograde in Pisces as well. And Saturn, since the Eight of Cups is here, Saturn is going to be retrograde until the 4th of November. And I really feel like this is great energy for us, Scorpio, in the sense that because both this stuff is happening in water signs, you know, Pisces is going to be feeling it the most, but we're going to get some really great energy from that. You Scorpio and Cancer are going to get a lot of beneficial energies from this as well. And I feel like this is one to really kind of get in touch with yourself. And since you got this meditation and maybe some of these challenges that have been going up, to just kind of really do some of that shadow work, to really kind of find where we may have been. Because the thing too with these, yeah, because really, it's like, I feel like this when Saturn is retrograde. So let me get back to that because I'm like stuck between your reading here. Saturn asks us when it's in Pisces, just what ways that we can grow spiritually. What ways that we've been kind of restricting ourselves. Whether this be our dreams, our passions, things along those lines. Because Pisces is very imaginative energy, very psychic, very compassionate. It's just like, how can we take our gifts to not only help us but to help others? Saturn, I was telling Capricorn this, Saturn can be the type where, because he's a planet of restrictions, karma, time, things along those lines, he asks a lot, but he never wants you to not finish your dreams or to not get anything accomplished. It's a matter of, okay, this is what you want. Saturn's like, here's the tools that you're working with, so, and then let's see it. I want to see it happen. Let's get this thing cooking. So that's pretty much where we're kind of the Saturn retrograde energy is at right now. We really are in a very expansive type of energy right now. We're really kind of learning ourselves, tapping into that intuitive side. Because Scorpio, you're a powerful intuitive, and this is really tap into this energy right now. Because you couple that with Mercury, or excuse me, with Neptune being retrograde. She's going to be retrograde until the 6th of December, and she's one of the rulers of Pisces, along with Jupiter. And Neptune normally is like the planet of, well, not normally, always is a planet of like illusions and mystery, mysticism, escapism, the fantastic things along those lines. But now with her being retrograde, it's like a veil has been lifted. And it feels like now we can really kind of tap into the energy, see what did journey into the subconscious, even Scorpio, whew, and find the areas that need some light shown on them. Or very powerful energy right now, Scorpio. And I feel like for these next couple years, it's gonna be interesting. So work with these energies, Scorpio. But let's get some tarot on this. Nice, I like that. So you got the 7th card of Taurus here, which is, what is this? The eyeglasses card. And with this card, this is a card of assessment, evaluate options, perspective, review, analyze, opinion, judgment, examine, seeing clearly, the fine print, estimate, closer look, focus, awareness, and check the details. So the first thing that really kind of popped out to me, Scorpio, is the perspective. And that's where I feel like that is with this energies that have kind of been coming through, because it feels like that there either has been some challenges or there may be some stuff that's coming up here in the future, Scorpio. But it is, as we go through these experiences, they teach us to see from a higher perspective. Excuse me, they really kind of broaden they expand us, they really get us, it's promoting that growth. And again, I know it can be hard, especially in the moment, to see where the growth is happening. It can just feel like that it's like a lot of 8 of Cups, where it's just like a lot of like sacrifice, or even like Hanged Man, where it's like just a lot of sacrificing and letting go of things. But we're making that space in order for us to breathe in, again, more sunlight, more Chariot energy, more Wheel of Fortune, 6 of Wands, that victorious energy, that sense of accomplishment that gets you in your manifesting state here. So I feel like it's especially since you got the Queen of Swords here too. I feel like that we're gonna understand that, Scorpio, if you haven't already been, because it's because sometimes too it's just like, even when we know these things, it's just even still keeping that mentality as we're going through the stuff can even be, like, how do we even keep that going sometimes? So I feel like this is really going to be a great exercise of your tenacity and your ability to persevere through these situations here. Because even think about that too, Taurus is your opposite sign, and we can learn a lot from our opposites, and you and Taurus, I feel like you're more, I feel like, comfortable with the change, and but I feel like it's getting ready to, maybe we've been, I'm not sure, I feel like it's getting ready to to balance out some here. Like it's let's get some tarot on this. Get some details. There's that Eight of Swords. That's when I, because that's the Eight of Swords is like a self-imposed prison here, Scorpio. And hold on, let me get these cards first. Thank you. All right, Scorpio. Last little bit here. So you got the Eight of Swords. So what you got? The Two of Wands. Oh, interesting. Oh, all right. Okay, Scorpio. Okay, yeah, I'm with it. So you have the Six of Swords, the Eight of Swords, the Ace of Swords, the Two of Wands, the Strength card, and then the Emperor here. All that heat at the end. Let's switch back over here, Scorpio, because that's where I feel like this energy is getting you to. Is going to get you to this place of really strong confidence here, Scorpio. I love this Emperor. This isn't he badass? And that's where I feel like it's you're learning what a badass you are, Scorpio, and that you can do these. That I feel like it's almost like we're in this place of where there's this realization that's coming, you know, that there's this epiphany that we're sure situations can feel like they're keeping us tied down. It is a matter of perspective. You know what I mean? With this Eight of Swords, it gets to this place of where if we think that something is insurmountable, then so it will be, because it's affecting our confidence. It's throwing off, I don't know if you can see this infinity sign up here, but it's throwing off that flow. And usually there it is. There's an infinity sign above the Magician as well. It throws off that flow. It messes up that connection here. And I feel like with the Six of Swords here, it's like we're getting ready to move on, or in order to move on to, honestly, this to move on to like this new horizon, this new change here. There's this energy of really kind of checking with our stability here with the Emperor. He's the fourth card, and the fours deal with stability. And I feel that once we've taken this time and really kind of strengthened our resolve with this, what are the words I'm trying to get? It's like when we realize that we can change this fate, you know, and get to where we do have influence over this energy, because none of this, we're a conduit, Scorpio. And I do feel that it's where it may feel tough at first, you know, and it may have been feel tough for a little while. It's not just happening for no reason, you know. This is where we're looking again. You got Leo and you got Aries here, you know. There's a like a vivacity that's getting ready to come, like a renewal, a resurgence of strength here. I feel like it's getting ready to come here, but it's all a matter of this mindset, you know, because the Ace of Swords, that's a powerful seed to plant, you know, of the swords. You know, I feel like that's when an idea is thought in our head, you know. It's, you know, sometimes the thoughts can run wild and we want to just get eyes on that stuff there, Scorpio. But I think I'm gonna leave that there. Hopefully that that makes sense. But that's so fascinating that both fools were in there, Scorpio. So thanks for letting me know about that one. But if you like that, Scorpio, if anything resonated with you, give it a thumbs up. And share this, Scorpio, if you know someone who might be, I don't know, Scorpio, that's been maybe going through a situation, or maybe they're not trusting their ideas as far as, like, you know, maybe even like getting something started or committing to something, Scorpio. It's very interesting here, but definitely share this and have you and all them other emperors subscribe, hit that bell button to get notified when I release videos each day or each week. And then I'm on this meditation app. Since you got the Hermit there, maybe this might help. Scorpio's a free app. I'm on this meditation app, Insight Timer, and I started a group on there called Zodiacs Raising the Vibration. And it's just a group to post like positive affirmations, encouraging messages, things along those lines. And as the group grows, I'm going to start doing different guided meditations or affirmations, binaural beats, ambience noise, things along those lines. Maybe doing like a regaining confidence with the Strength card, or going void of course with the High Priestess, something like that. So definitely check that out, Scorpio. And lastly, Scorpio, look at you getting the hottest tickets to come over to my other channel, Cancer and their ruler. Not that you need them, but if you have any Cancer in your placement, Sun, Moon, Rising, come on over to the Chariot and Friends. I do videos Monday through Friday there. We just absolutely discuss lunar shenanigans. It's a good old time. And all that housekeeping down in the description box below. But let me get you surprise cards here so I can get you out of here, Scorpio. And I like that, one of your cards. Well, according to me. You got the Knight of Cups here. And with the Knight of Cups, I feel like that there's a need to kind of do a deep dive here, Scorpio, with your energy. Oh, hold on, Scorpio. Let me pause for 1 second. We're almost done. All right, Scorpio, last little bit here. with the Knight of Cups, I feel like it's like doing a deep dive, like really kind of, if there's something that has been, if we hadn't had a chance to just like process all this change that's going down, because that double Fool was aggressive. And thank you. I feel that there's a need to just take a moment and really kind of process how this stuff has made you feel, especially since you got Cancer and the High Priestess. That both of them deal with a lot of emotions. And like I was saying, you're water energy. We are emotional, and there's nothing wrong with that, but it is making sense of that, Scorpion, figuring out how that's affecting us. Let me see what I like that. So your oracle card is the Solstice card. And I do feel that this is an energy where we are getting to, granted we just got into the summer season, so we still have a little bit while, but I feel like as we start thinking about going towards that like fall and winter season, we are going to get to, things may get a little, I don't want to say heavy, but it's just like we're going to get into a very kind of, I feel like the soul tribe is going to really, hopefully I feel like it's getting really in touch with themselves. And I feel there's a growth that's getting ready to happen. It's like things have been kind of a little topsy-turvy right now. And it's like we're getting ready to, something's changing, Scorpion. I feel like that's what's happening with you right now. It's like maybe you've been feeling like the light has been elusive here, and that we've just been kind of stuck in this dark place, kind of like looking up. But I feel like that with time, Scorpio, because with the fact that the sun is here is nice, because all we got to do is find it, and it's going to get you in a great place, Scorpio. So I think I'm going to leave that there. So you stay safe out there. All this reflection, spilled milk, things along those lines. You raise your vibration to the roof, And really, take some time, especially if we've been dealing with like so many kind of back-to-back changes and things like that. And because that can be a lot, if we don't take that time to process it, So yeah, give that, show yourself some compassion too, and be kind to yourself with this energy. And I will catch you on the next one.